Hello, everyone. So I'm just doing a few touch-ups myself. We're very conservative, and I don't have a makeup artist to prepare me for doing these lives, so I do it myself. So sometimes, if I may look a little horrendous, that is my fault. There is no one to blame for that when I'm getting prepared for a live with the makeup. So thank you. uh, and hi everyone, and it's great. And I'll try to keep these short. And having said this, Femke reminded me again tonight, not to ramble on so much with these. And that's great advice, and that's great advice for all of you divine ones out there that are doing similar things like I. So let's get right to the point, and I love you all. So currently, so many things are happening, you know, with the Ascension and on a global scale, and so many significant things, but it's all taken us very rapidly forward, and I like to say at an exponential rate with the awakening. It's just so beautiful to see, and Femke and I find ourselves extremely busy monitoring the global situation and keeping up on everything that is transpiring, and also energetically, as two powerful co creators combined, we energetically go in and adjust events through our creational abilities if needed, and to overall keep instead of waving, to keep more of a straight line, the straightest point, the shortest distance between 2 points from A to B is a straight line. So let's say from now until 5D, we try to keep it a straight line, and many little unnecessary things that may arise quickly, we steer everyone away from them and keep positive and do what you're doing. So getting right to the points. So apparently, with WikiLeaks, they had quite a dump of emails, and within these emails, there was a lot more information. But one thing with the emails, uh, what I'm seeing tentatively is that there is some proof on what you would call the pandemic, how everything with the corona was orchestrated. So these are some very valuable information if that is contained within there, and as far as I know, it is. So when you get this information also to a public, the vast numbers awakening even more are going to awaken even more with this. So great. So that's a great thing. So I got several points wrote down here and try to get to them. At this time, there should be enough on here that I wish to just say, and if you're speaking with your friends, please stop sending me in the private messages videos and any unnecessary messages. You know, out of my courtesy and my compassion and well-being, I love to assist and look at pertinent messages, and everyone is important. However, uh, with tens of thousands of friends, it's just too tedious, to look at many messages and to accommodate everyone. And I am so busy doing things that I just don't look at the videos. And so I asked refrain from that to cut down on sending me videos and things that are occurring. Thank you. Uh, Next thing, it's important during this ascension for ones of you, and I have it titled Miscellaneous because it'll be all over the board, and as short and to the point as it can. What I'm seeing recently coming up once again It's one's saying they're sorry, apologizing for things that really they did not intentionally do, and they did not do it from a bad place. All of us now, and in the Ascension, you are in the heart space. What this means is that everything you do is right. You cannot do any wrong. So if you do something that in the old habitual way, oh, I'm sorry, that right now has more of a disempowering effect upon you when you're acting from the heart and you don't intentionally do this. So it can negate your energetic field, but as you become stronger and stronger as co creators, if you say something that is not true or admit to a guilt of something you did not intentionally do, you create a negative energetic thread with it. So find another way. If something occurs with one, you don't need to apologize. So do not admit to a guilt. You can just say, I'm just acting from my heart, or what have you. So that's important to bring that up again. Also, with the word understanding in the English language. What I strongly suggest for all of you watching this, refrain from using that term. It's because of the energetic effects with it, and it can disempower you. And when you're speaking to an individual, say this is the individual you're speaking to, immediately when you say you understand because of the words, you're putting yourself a little bit below them. What you wish to say is use an English word like understand, or if you know your assistant, then use an overstanding. You don't want to demote yourself. That's important. So refrain from using the word understanding and use an understanding. And also you are now operating from the heart, and the understanding is uh, uh, a more stronger energetic approach in a use of your words and in the selection of what you say. So that's important. Um, okay. So a quick little thing for the fact checkers. It's important for the fact checkers that have souls, misinformation checkers, fact checkers, what are employed. It's important that if you're watching this right at this moment and you are a good person and you have a soul, it's important that you refrain from censoring all of the truth out there and perhaps even leave your job. And here's one reason why. Regardless if you have a soul or not, any of you that are out there on the censoring platforms, the whole energetic space is devised that anyone with ill intent on an individual level, if they do something against divinity or truth, like censoring it, it sets off a negative energetic karmic loop for yourself, and it can be very inundating upon you what you set off. So, what I suggest, if you're working in a fact checker's place that is not putting the truth out and that is hired to censor the truth, get out of there. If you have a soul, the ones that don't have a soul, yeah, you'll remain, but there is that judgment day that occurs either way. You begin the judgment day for yourself the moment that you say that this information is false. It sets off a huge negative karmic loop, energetic loop upon you, and it'll be very heavy for you. Just to let you know, I'm saying this in good faith. So we want to get our good ones, uh, that have a heart and a soul, to get them out of the fact-checking misinformation areas and bring them up to speed as well for what is going on. And not only in these communities, what we saw with all the social networks and platforms and anything, governments, the works, the entire society Anywhere where someone is doing something that is not morally and ethically good and from the God divine space, then what occurs is they do set off negative consequences for them. And it will exponentially keep setting them off until they do the right thing. Then they may get a reprieve from it. So it's very important to say that. Uh, you know, we are touching on the new banking system, what we're going towards very quickly, what the people are becoming more aware of and more informed on. And having said this, I had put out one, but I put it out several times. One interview, three of us got together. Randall Kaiser and Mike Whitefeather and I, and that was episode one. Now, this is important information, and we anticipate putting more information out as well. And this information is to help, to assist everyone that is maybe caught in the old system, the financial system, to let you know what is coming. And what is coming, no more debt, no more taxes, none of this. And all it takes is the majority, well, doesn't really even take the majority of the populace of the planet, because we're way above that right now. All it takes is the support uh, to have this new system in place. And let me say, this will happen very rapidly, and it's happening exponentially. Everything you know in your old uh, life with financial markets and society, all that is changing very rapidly, and nothing will be the same. So it's good to pay attention to these, all of you that you're ones that watch what we put out and you purvey and share the information. So with these, what I ask is, this is very important information globally for the whole world, that when we speak about the new monetary system and assisting ones detaching from the old system, please, by all means, share these far and wide, because this is what's coming. This is the full potential. And the quicker we get everyone aware of this and educated on it to a little degree, the quicker it happens. And it's pretty simple. The ones really don't need to be educated on it to any depth. You could read a page or 2 pages on it, and it's that common sense for the society that it can be written, let's say, in a page or two. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see the full potential and what is coming, and it is imminent, and nothing stops it. So it's important to share this. Um, Okay, one other thing, and now this is a different subject. As I said, this was miscellaneous. What I strongly suggest for any of you watching this that are still questioning yourself when you feel to do something, or are still questioning your thoughts, what I say is, do not hesitate. If you have a feeling to do something, to go somewhere, do not hesitate. Follow it. Because once you know that everything happens for a divine reason, and that you are indeed playing out a divine script, it becomes much more easier for you to get from point A to point B, to not hesitate. Point A being where you're at now, and point B is to coming in your full divine power and join the Ascension party to the fullest and enjoy all the magic. So the quicker you do not try to control your reality or every step of the way what you're doing, and you just open and allow it to flow and surrender, the more easier it becomes to you. So at this time, I'm just going to scroll down and do a check and see how we're coming in. And good evening, everyone. Good day, good morning. I love you all. And just scrolling here. Okay. Oh, I don't see anyone saying that there is any interruption. So great. I'll carry forward. Thank you. And if it's glitchy, just at any point, someone just say. But again, please put your energy in to keep this the most energetic and efficient connection that we have. So I get this out. Thank you. Okay. Before I go to the next topic, I wish to just go back to the banking topic. What I can say is that, as most of you know, I have many friends, and let me say that they are just not um, just everyday people, of which most are. We also have many professionals that I know in departments of governments, in departments of banking, and connected, uh, not fully connected that I'm speaking with these ones all the time, but that they are there, and I am connected, and there is so much that, let's say, that goes on that when we need to, from the divine perspective, they come in and step up to assist with anything we need to do. So I wish to inform you that I'm not just talking off the top of my hat, if you will. This stuff is very real, it's very serious, and yes, it's divine and it's above all of the cabal, above the governments and all of this. So this is very real, and we have awakened ones in, many professional areas all around the planet, and these are the ones to assist with the transition into the new world as well. And as many of you are seeing within governments, politicians, you're seeing some of them become incredibly sick. Those are the ones not complying with the divine plan. And also you're seeing ones that are waking up and complying with the divine plan and are beginning to take stands. But overall, it is the full implosion and deterioration of the control of the government. So it is happening. It's not fictitious. It's not fantasy. For anyone that wishes to check, it's there in your face when you do all the research. I'm only saving you time and telling you it's true and sharing with you it's true. And from time to time, I will also put supporting documentation out on the timeline that it is true. And what I'm happy to see is that we are. Okay, am I still rolling, Carolyn? You said the video stopped. Thank you. It's showing that it's still running on this end. Are we still going, everyone? Stop for about 1 minute. Oh well, that's good. I'll carry on. So what we're seeing, what I'm putting out on the timeline, on my Facebook timeline here, a bit ago, is information about India, about France just lately, and there are so many protests that are and demonstrations that are happening globally. But once again, you're seeing that it's the people standing up against the government, and it's really a ridiculous and childish thing to actually see people head to stand up against governments that are supposed to be representing them. But with this, all of the truth is coming out. So, uh, so it is great. Okay, we still rolling here pretty good. Okay, thank you. Please no questions because I have things wrote down here and I may take questions and come back with it. So, okay, great. The video's working. I'll try not to move so much as well. Um, so yeah, we saw some IT outages, a little bit of Google, YouTube, and whatever the other day. And as you know, those that are following are doing the affirmations, and it is having an effect. So I enjoy putting out these confirmations from time to time, just to confirm you of your power that you actually have. And again, this is not fantasy. Yeah, you are actually superhuman. You're not human anymore. So you are humanoid, but you have your divinity brought down, and that puts you above being human. As you know, humans don't have these divine powers that you have. So, great. So it is true, and many of us can attest to it, and many, many more every day. As we exponentially speed up and go forward here. So great. And having said speeding up, the fasting that was done recently with the sun's activity, we were pumping out higher photonic light that was carrying higher codes yet. And it was a very strong, and continues to be, a very strong photonic constant influx. Any of you watching the sun, you will see constantly we are emitting and projecting towards the surface very intense, powerful beings, and it is having the effect on the reality as well, as you can see in, pictures that ones are taking. Now, what occurred with the fasting? It was done, uh, with different ones, perhaps 16 hours a day. They were doing a fast, right up to, I believe, 5 or 7 days. So the fasting was on the individual basis, what felt best for the one, and to not stress whenever you do the fasting, because it's not about creating a stress point. It's about energizing and cleaning the body to receive the maximum downloads and uploads and upgrades of your DNA. So it had a wide array of effects, and it was very great to see that, and through some of you, through some consultation, through messages, and also, on voice and online. Um, we have, come to see that so many experienced different things, and it was very intense, and it was unlike any previous fasting that others have done, and that was a common thing that they said. And again, because of the intensity of the upgrades coming in. So the upgrades increased your divine powers like telepathy, third eye opening, other divine energetic powers, your empathy, being empathic, feeling the energies, feeling actually feeling also the activations take place inside of your body when your bloodstream now has a more higher crystalline component, and when they become all active within you, it causes vibrations and shaking sometimes until you acclimatize to the higher energetic effects as well. So it gets, very, very good, and it's very cool. So, we still doing good, everyone? The last comment I see is Carolyn's, says, yes, she eats something. The energy, I guess. Can someone just put a comment there? Are we still rolling without interruptions? Thank you. Okay, I'll continue forward a little bit further. What else do we have? Okay, so what's actually playing out is it is a great idea for each of you to look at that you actually had and have a soul contract. And this soul contract is to play a certain divine role within a divine script, which is the divine plan. So, again, nothing for you is by chance, nothing is random, meaning that everything that occurs in your humanoid life, thank you, Maria, it's all been preordained by you, the significant points that you reach in your ascension. So, what we do, what speeds up the ascension, is all of the teachers assisting others and giving you the things to do so you don't have to go over here and stay for 6 months in an unnecessary situation learning how to overcome a negative anchor that is holding you back. We have the teachers to give you the information to guide you forward. So, having said this, you're to follow, what is in your heart and what you feel. And this divine plan is a huge network. It's all intertwined and interwoven, and the dynamics are very complex because each soul plays a role in this huge movie that has, billions of actors and actresses. And you can see when I said that how complex that movie could be. So it is divinely brilliant and ingenious to the construction of the divine plan and to weed out any variables within the theme of it. We are given the tools to keep us refined and streamlined to get to the ascension. And by doing this amazing work, we actually took 10 years of the ascension. Let's say it could have happened in 2030, um, the point where we are at now. But because of all of the work all of you have been doing and more, we have shortened that up again. And we're here upon it now. So great work, all of you. But just to let you know that, yeah, everything has already been done. It's already determined. We are invincible. Everything is imminent, and you are the most formidable force upon the planet. Any bearer of light, nothing stands in your way when you have reached your level of divine authority to know your role to play here. So, with vaccines, we're seeing this come that they're realizing it cannot be any forced vaccine, and they cannot restrict travel and other things with these vaccines. And also, it's being revealed more of what the vaccines actually are, but also the harm that they do. So, it cannot be justified on any moral and ethic level, anyone imposing and making mandatory a vaccine upon anyone. And that's not going to occur. And, the governments know this, and I put out a video on, or yeah, a video in a post a little bit, about in the UK, about one of the members standing up there and just saying it's morally wrong. You cannot do this, and you cannot. And the same as any airlines, as we spoke about before, they cannot discriminate against anyone upon the surface cannot discriminate against another if they desire not to have a vaccine. That is their right. And for anyone to discriminate against them, it's not going to occur. So it's that simple. So you are seeing this play out very rapidly where you're saying, oh, it'll be mandatory vaccines now to the governments and, ones that were in supposed places of power. They're coming to their senses and they're saying, no, we can't do this. And not only on a legal basis, but morally and ethically, and for what we are, we cannot impose vaccines upon anyone, and it's not going to be accepted by the people. But it's such a great tool to wake up more of the people, to show the intents of the governments to intentionally attempt to enforce and inflict harm upon humanity. It shows you once again that any governments that does this, that they do not have the people's full interest in mind, and that they are acting on an agenda or their own accord, which does not resonate uh, and does not represent the people. So very quickly it implodes as it's doing. And as I said earlier, um, against against the fact checkers, that you don't do this stuff. You don't censor and you don't do this because there is a divine justice, a divine wrath that you activate and you bring upon yourself. Sure, you can continue to attempt to do it, but if you don't believe me, confirm it to yourself. Keep this in mind, what I said, and continue to censor and watch what happens in your life. And this holds true for any minion or one that doesn't have a soul as well. You will see what occurs. So prove it to yourself is what I say. Then we get through this ridiculous, futile resistance that you're putting out there. And there is no, um, let's say, life ahead for any of you that are censoring things. So very quickly, we are coming to a place of people's justice and divine justice, where you might be running around, laugh and say you're doing good at censoring truth now. But one thing I can tell you, in very few short days in the future, yeah, you might meet something that you did not anticipate, because I'm here to tell you again, anything that is against humanity on any level is going to struggle, and they have only one choice: to do the right thing or implode. It's that simple. So continue. The quicker you prove it to yourself, then the quicker we go forward as well. So do as you please. So yeah, you're seeing within government separation processes is occurring where the some that are, in their heart that are politicians, and some their consciousness is raising up a bit. They are seeing they are unable to agree with the government's intent, and they are separating, and they are also making it very clear. I would ask for all of you to perhaps, if you stop messaging, in the chat, just let it be quiet until I'm done. Then that will assist with keeping a stronger feed. We have so many on here, and as more got on, it's apparently affecting the quality of the feed. Thank you. Okay, just waiting for time to catch up here. There we go. Okay, we're coming back. So, just to repeat, there is a separation occurring within the individuals within governments where they are no longer uh, able to consciously support the agendas of governments, and you're seeing this process occur very quickly, and that will uh, ex- expedite going forward because we are in the separation mode of the light from the darkness, and the light has no choice but to come out. So, but to come out of the darkness and no longer support the government agendas, and these individuals have a choice to support the people or stay in the old paradigm. So, Dana Maxwell, can you just please just give me a report to see if this is working fluently? Thank you. Okay, I'll wrap this up regardless. So, what we have now is with the World Doctors Alliance that is affiliated with the World Freedom Alliance. You will see on their website, the World Doctors Alliance, over 1 billion page views. That is very extensive. It gives you an idea of how many are awake and paying attention about the actual fraud and the pandemic and all of this. And if you were to go on the street, you would see a larger number. That's only the ones that are online. Many know without even being online too much that it is all fake. So it's all coming down. Thank you. Uh, so ascension symptoms at this time and over the past months has intensified. It it should not be so discomfortable going forward. So the ascension symptoms should be alleviated somewhat for most of you. However, the ones just awakening that there is a lot of transitioning to be done with their vessels, they may undergo some very strong discomforts, and um, because so much will need to be changed within their physical vessels internally very quickly, which translates and results in discomfort. Uh, so again, the best thing to ease with this ascension, with the body changing, the physical body changing internally, is pay very close attention to your diets and eliminate the alcohol and complex sugars and carbons out of it. It's what I strongly suggest. The complex and any synthetic drugs or what have you, keep them out of your system, is what I strongly suggest. as well as alcohol as well. So that is, it does many things. See, when the brain, one part of the ascension, when the brain is being rewired and reconfigured with a neurogenesis, you want the consciousness to be clean, and you want it to its most alert ability. So anytime that you would go uh, drink alcohol if you wish, but I strongly suggest do not, do not, do not. And because of the complications that can occur. Simple organic marijuana is about the strongest pacifier that I would endorse at this time. I don't endorse psychedelics or any other natural thing. Ayahuasca once, no more than twice, and only if you need to do it. So this is important. Tobacco from cigarettes is still okay, and organic marijuana, but anything else, I suggest for your advanced bodies not to do it. But again, it's on an individual basis, and each one must follow what what resonates with them and what is their divine guidance. So at the end of the day, follow that. Now, in September of 2019, I had put out an update that in 2019 there was a divine immunity that was delivered within the codes and the photon energy that came in during that period. So what it was an immunity to the EMFs, and it was also an immunity to any attempted thing like a corona upon a vessel. So you'll see within the spiritual community that ones are relatively in very good health because this immunity was distributed in advance before these sort of things were put in place. Yeah, so I'm breaking up constantly. He said, going to end this. Love and light, lots of winks, and we're doing great, everyone, and I hope it was good enough for ones to hear everything I said. And yeah, everything I say is important, and I do not prefer wasting time speaking on these lives if it's not working properly. So thank you, and love and light. Love you all. Great appreciation, and thank you, and we'll speak soon. Have a great evening, morning, or night, and keep happy. It's happening very rapidly. Woo!